Hi everyone, it's Tamra again, Advanced Director with Pamper Chef. And as promised by Paula, I will be doing some Nutella Quicksicles in our Quicksicle maker. Paula, if you're seeing this, I watched your mixology video and you are a hard act to follow, my friend. That was an utter delight to watch. I would love to be your neighbor so I could walk on over there and help you sample some of those amazing drinks. Those all looked and sounded amazing. And you're right, they would make great mocktails as well. But thank you so much for showing us that and being your fun self. Okay, I'm gonna be making Nutella Quicksicles. Doesn't that sound great? I happen to have Nutella. I usually keep it in my house because I like to make croissants and stuff like that with it, but they do have off brands. So any store where you shop, whether it's Walmart, Meijer, I go to Meijer a lot, they do have a store brand version of Nutella. And we actually have a recipe for a kind of a Nutella that you can make yourself. So, but that's for another day. Right now, I'm gonna be making these and they're super easy. You're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of milk. I've got whole milk. You can use coconut milk or 2% milk, whatever you prefer. And then we're gonna do 1/4 cup of Nutella. And I've put this in, this lives in my freezer because I make Quicksicles fairly often. But once you bring it out, you know, it's good for about 2 rounds of Quicksicles before you have to really put it back in the freezer. So that's why I have it sitting out. And let me just get this 1/4 cup in here. Okay, this is gonna be hard not to just, you know, lick my fingers and my thumb and everything else. So good. When I was in college, wasn't great for the health, but my sweet mates and I, we would put a big jar of Nutella in the floor in the middle while we were studying. We would sit around on the floor and just dip in with our spoons, right? So yeah. All right, there we go. We're just gonna push that in there. Scrape that off to get all the goodness. All right, and the fingers going in, right? It's just me and my husband, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Sorry. Okay. And that's it. You're just gonna whisk this and make sure it's nice and blended. And then we're gonna pour it in the Quicksicle maker, and in about 8 to 9 minutes, 7 to 9 minutes, we'll have Nutella Quicksicles. And I'm gonna be making homemade magic shell. Anyone else remember magic shell? My husband, for some reason, didn't quite know what that was called until I reminded him what it was. Now you can use milk chocolate, dark chocolate. I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips, just the store brand. We're trying to do everything here, you know, as inexpensively as possible so that you can still have your treats and your family's gonna just think summer's amazing, and you and I will know, well, you'll know that you're saving money at the grocery store, right? There are a few things that I try to stick to brand names. Philadelphia cream cheese is one of them. But if I continue making cheesecakes during these rising costs, I may have to sample some of the store brand of cream cheese. Okay, so this is nicely mixed together. Get that out of the way. Oh, I'm gonna lick that later. All right, and then we're just gonna pour these in here. I've already got my sticks in here. This is what they look like. And they sit right on there. And you just want to pour it. It has a little fill line, so it doesn't go too far past the fill line. It just makes it more difficult to get out if you fill them up past the fill line. But they do come out. I've done that certainly in the past. Oh, I hate to waste that, so I might drink it later. All right, so Oh, I want to show you. This is actually the small batter bowl, and it is going on 25 years old. I don't have the newer ones yet because my old ones are tried and true. They're solid. They have seen me through so many meals and desserts over the last 25 years. And so honestly, I think our products are just some of the best around. They last, and yeah, I don't know. I'm sold. I was sold really from the first time I ever tried Pampered Chef 25, 26 years ago when I was invited to my first party. Okay, these are already kind of setting, and I'm just gonna set these aside while I make the magic shell, okay? So for this, we're just gonna use 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate pieces. I'm using the smallest microwave bowl. This is gonna make a lot of magic shell. So, okay. And Twix-Its, of course. I use those for all my bags or my bread. As soon as I bring my bread home, I take that little square plastic thing off, or the twisty off, and I use Twix-It right away. Okay, and then we want 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, liquid coconut oil. Now this is the secret to magic shell. You're not gonna wanna use vegetable oil, okay? The coconut oil is gonna have just the right consistency. It's gonna help it harden, but not so hard that you can't just crunch into it, right? It's gonna have that beautiful magic shell consistency. It'll be real shiny initially, then get a little bit dull, and the flavor is just amazing. Okay, so I've got a tablespoon of liquid coconut oil. Coconut oil can be more expensive, I know. Try and get, I got the least expensive one. This one at Meijer today was a little over $10, but you know what? I'm gonna be using this for a lot of different things, so it's certainly gonna pay for itself in the long run. Okay, go ahead and cover this. Pop this in here for just about 45 to 60 seconds. We're gonna go with 50 seconds just to kind of be somewhere in between. There we go. I'm gonna get some parchment paper out so I can lay these out, and then I'm gonna kind of swizzle the magic shell on top. I could dip it in the magic shell, and I might do that to 1 or 2 of them, and then we're gonna make them look a little bit fancy. Be right back. Here, I can get this to not curl up on me. Hope y'all are enjoying this fiesta party. I am. I've been enjoying watching everyone. So what we're gonna do is once we get these Nutella out, then I'm gonna be drizzling the magic shell on top, and then I'm gonna sprinkle some extra chocolate sprinkles on top, so you'll have chocolate, 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 right? Sort of death by chocolate. And then I have these fun little fusion kind of mermaid sprinkles, just something to make it look kind of fun. I thought I had that kind of fun confetti sprinkles, but I don't. I must have used those for some cookies or donuts or something along the way. Let's see, you want this to be pretty pourable or drizzly, right? I think I just need about 10 more seconds, and then we'll okay, 10 more seconds in the microwave and I think we'll be gold. And then we'll be good to go. Short and sweet. The Quicksicle maker is, you know, it's if you are hosting a party, you can get this for half off. It's gonna live in your freezer probably all summer. If you have kids, they're gonna love helping you make that, coming up with all different kinds of flavors and variations to suit your family. The trick is you wanna make sure that you don't use like sugar-free stuff, because you do want more sugar in there to give it a nice texture. And also if you do wanna make the ones with a little bit of alcohol, make sure you use very little because alcohol won't freeze. And so you just kind of want to blend just a little bit in there for taste if that's what you want to do. These are great with smoothies. You can put fresh fruit in there. Just make sure it's sliced really nice and thin, not whole berries, because then they become like little rocks because it's going to freeze really hard. But you can thin those nice and thin. I would suggest if you're using blueberries to smash them right before you put them in there. And then it comes with little tweezery things that are lost in my drawer right now, that you can just press those up against the sides and then put the sticks in and then pour the liquid in. And there's lots of great recipes using the Quicksicle maker in under recipes. If you go to your consultant's website and look under recipes, Quicksicle, you'll see lots of great variations for using this, and it might spark your imagination, okay? All right, let's look at this one more time. Isn't this just the cutest little bowl? I like to steam my broccoli in there as well. Let's see, where's that spoon? Yeah, this is perfect. I'm just gonna get this nice and smooth. Almost there. Pieces are still there. Oh, am I speaking loud enough? Can you hear me? I feel like I'm mumbling. Sorry. Okay. Let's get these Quicksicles out, shall we? I think, oh, they have just another minute to go. So while we are waiting for that, I'm going to tell you a little story. Again, I want to share a little bit about why I started selling Pampered Chef. If you've seen my live from last night, you've already heard some of this. But I sold a long time ago. When I was a new mom, my children were at that point, I think, maybe 1 and 3 years old. And I was invited to my first Pampered Chef in-home party. I was a pastor's wife at that time. And I went to support my friend. I had never heard of Pampered Chef, but I wanted to support my friend. And so I just bought, I think at that time, my very first purchase were the adjustable measuring spoons. And I really only bought those because I wanted to support my friend. And at that time, it was one of the least expensive things in the catalog. So I ordered those and really enjoyed them. And then I also wanted to help my friends some more. So I booked a party because I felt kind of bad that I didn't buy very much. So I booked a party. And the lady, the consultant, was so nice. And I thought, well, it'll be fun to have a bunch of friends over at the house and make some good food, right? If you have a party in your house, you want food. And how awesome was that I could have friends over and I didn't have to make the food. Someone else was gonna do that. So I had several people over, had a great party. And to my great surprise, because honestly, I was just doing it to help a friend. I wasn't really thinking about all the things that I could get for free and discounted. But I had this really great party, and so when the consultant sat down with me later and told me all my rewards, I had to take about a week or so, I think, to decide what I wanted to get. And at that time I was able to get, you know, my mixing bowls and stones. I had never used stoneware before in my life, and a whisk and a food chopper and just the garlic press. So I got some things that were kind of like kitchen necessities. And my consultant was very helpful. I mean, I didn't know anything about Pampered Chef. I didn't know what the basics would probably be. So, you know, I asked her and I said, just help me out with what are some things to start with? I don't know. And she was wonderful. She really walked me through what my cooking style was and what some things, you know, what were my issues in the kitchen. And she really helped me to have put together kind of a little starter kit, you know, as for my host rewards. And I just got really intrigued. I loved the product. And at that time, you know, I was a stay-at-home mom with the idea of, okay, once my kids started preschool, I'm most likely gonna have to go back to work and, you know, help with the budget. But I really didn't want to do that. I liked the flexibility of being home with my kids and, you know, being involved, you know, when I took them to library hour, to the park, or all those things. I wanted to be, you know, the mom that was present for that. I have lots of friends that preferred working because they actually were sort of better moms if they had some time away from their kids, and that's totally fine. I wasn't that mom. I did love working, and I kind of knew that once I started working, I would probably be more of a worker person than a mom person. That's just my story. Anyway, I talked to this consultant about becoming a consultant and what that would look like. And she was fabulous. She walked me through everything, and I decided to go all in. So I did. We actually moved shortly after that, and I took my business with me. And I sold in-home parties and did in-home parties for about 3 to 4 years. And we moved a second time, and I was still selling. In fact, I have a funny story about that. We had moved here to Indiana, and some work friends of my husband's, they invited us to a home and had lots of people from my husband's department there so I could meet other people. And the host, she had everything laid out, a great spread, and I recognized some Pampered Chef products. And I said, oh, I see that you have Pampered Chef products. And she said to me, she goes, I need more. You don't happen to be a consultant, do you? And she kind of laughed like, you know, I probably wouldn't be. So anyway, she hosted my first party here in Indiana. Anyway, so I sold for another year after I was here, and then my kids got a little older and they got busier, and it just wasn't really fitting into my why anymore, so I let it go. But if you've ever started using Pampered Chef and you've fallen in love with it, you're gonna make sure that you get invited to parties, and I was that guest. I was the guest everybody wanted because I was always gonna buy something because I loved the product. So fast forward, empty nester, I started working as soon as my son left high school. He's my youngest, and he started college. I started working. I just went and got a job, and I really enjoyed it. I was an enrollment counselor for college and just enjoyed meeting lots of new people, and it was an online program, so I got to meet people from all over the country, and that was wonderful. That really suited my personality. So I did that for, I think, almost 3 years. We moved, and that job moved with me as well. And it was a good job, but I was feeling more and more confined to someone else's work hours. I didn't have the flexibility I wanted, but I was willing to stick it out, you know, but I needed something extra just for myself, and also something to pad the budget a little bit so I could get out from under some credit card debt. And I was looking for a second stream of income. And at that point, I was invited to my very first virtual party. Most of you who are here have probably been to or hosted a virtual party already. I had never done so, and that was a little over 3 years ago. So I attended the virtual party, and that was a lot of fun. And I ordered, again, something kind of small, but something I needed, which was the blade sharpener to help my friend. And that consultant happened to be Claudia Bazar, that you have seen in this party. And she did her due diligence and, of course, asked me if I would be willing to host. And my son was getting married, so I told her I'd be way too busy in May to host. And she said, you know, it's all online, a few minutes every day. If you're online anyway, and I was on social media for at least an hour every day, just scrolling through and looking at friends' stuff. So she said, I'll make it easy for you. So I said yes, and we had my party actually the week that my son got married. And it was totally fine, had a great party. And during that process, you know, Claudia also asked me if I would be interested in selling Pampered Chef. And I told her, I said, well, I used to sell Pampered Chef, and not really interested in doing in-home parties anymore, because I thought that, you know, online parties were sort of what consultants did sometimes, but that it was still all really in-home parties. And she said, no, you can be a virtual only consultant if you wish. And that got my interest. It was the perfect fit. I already loved the product. I already knew its value. I used it every day. I cooked every day, at least something, right? So I thought that would be pretty easy. So I did. I jumped in. And really just 4 months later, I realized I kind of loved doing Pampered Chef online. And my, you know, on-site job was getting a little more confining feeling to me. So my husband was traveling a lot. You know, he does travel through the country and sometimes overseas. And I wanted to be able to go with him if I wanted to, or be able to visit my kids who no longer lived at home, or other family and friends. And so I decided to quit my full-time and make Pampered Chef my full-time in January of 2020. That's right before the pandemic really hit. And boy, was I glad. That just really helped me to continue to provide towards the family budget and not have to stress about all the things that we were all stressing about, you know, when it came to work and life in those earlier days, right? So really grateful for Pampered Chef. I have been able to travel a lot with my husband, both in the country and out of the country. As an empty nester, I am telling you, it has been the perfect fit to be able to move into this kind of work. A lot of wonderful stay-at-home moms out there, and that's why they do it. And I still think it's probably one of the best ways to be able to stay at home with your kids and provide for your family as well. But it's not just for the stay-at-home moms, I'm here to tell you. And it's not just for the young. I am 61 years old, and I've been doing this for 3 years and have no plan of stopping anytime soon. I love what I do because I love doing stuff like this. I was gonna make these Quicksicles anyway tonight, and so when there came an opening and Paula needed someone to kind of help her out because her Quicksicle maker wasn't in the freezer long enough, I just pitched in and said, hey, mine is already in the freezer. I was already gonna make these. Why not do it on film, right? So, okay, I think I have chatted long enough and we are all wanting some of these, right? Okay, to get them out, you're just gonna use this little, it's called a key. And I don't know if you can see that, there we go. And you're just gonna wanna go clockwise until it gets nice and tight, and just kind of keep turning it until it loosens. Well, let's do this again, there we go. Yep, it's loosened. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. Okay, we're gonna get all of these out and then I'm gonna drizzle, okay? Because I'm kind of just, well, do you need to see me do all of them? Yeah, you do. I think you do. Let's just do all of them. As I said, the Quicksicle maker, you can get about 6 Quicksicles made before you have to put it back in the freezer. Also, you can buy extra sticks and a key. It comes in a package of 3. And so if you need to make more than, 3 at a time, you're gonna want extra sticks. I'm trying not to get my little fingers all over the chocolate. I kind of can't wait to bite down into one, but I want to make them fancy. Imagine how fun this would be for kids' parties, right? So you're gonna make sure you get enough extra keys to accommodate kids' parties this summer. So you can be that mom and that backyard. Everyone's gonna wanna come to your house for the pool and some treats, right? Or just running through the sprinkler. We never had a pool growing up, but I tell you, running through the sprinkler, can't beat it. Okay, I'm gonna kind of prop that up there a little bit. It's kind of off camera, but I'm just propping it up on the Quicksicle so I can get the little key part off. There we go. Okay, and it's got these nice little handles. Okay, so I've got the magic shell. It's beautiful. And you can do this a lot of different ways. I'm just gonna drizzle mine right over the top, like that. Now imagine this on a little plate, right? Just gonna sprinkle that. And we're gonna drizzle the next one. Ooh, it's got a lot on there. You can dip it in there, but I think drizzling looks kind of nice. Makes it look just a little bit fancy. It's always fun when you make stuff that's super easy and it looks like you've gone to a lot of trouble, right? Oh, these ones look really pretty. This is my favorite. I love that our Quicksics come in all different sizes. So there's some that are just right for these little jobs right here. And then this last one, I think I'm gonna do this one just a little bit differently. Ooh, how fun is that? It's already starting to kind of get nice and firm. Look at that. Isn't that great? Now I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to ruin that nice little swizzle on there, but you can see that it's already starting to do its magic shell thing. And so has this one. It's nice and shiny right now, then it's going to get just a little bit dull. I'm going in. Oh my gosh. Yum. Okay, making a mess. You gotta get yourself one of these. And I'm sorry, I'm not getting emotional. I just sound like I'm getting emotional. But I'm trying to talk and swallow and chocolate all at the same time. This is so good. Okay, that's my demonstration. These are the Nutella Quicksicles. By far my favorite so far. I've made key lime Quicksicles. Those were wonderful and refreshing. I've made strawberry chocolate and something else I can't remember. You can make Oreo. You can do the smoothie. Oh my goodness, you can put a breakfast smoothie in there and your kids will never know they're actually eating breakfast because you can put, the extra protein and veggie powder in your smoothie mix. That's kind of a no-brainer. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna take off. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope the weather where you are is just as gorgeous as it is here in Indiana. You guys take care and have a great night. Bye.